Minor hypocrisy parade today, just for one video. You know how I did a tirade about how I'm really not enjoying MAC and their new collections? Still true, but I did pick up a new MAC item, and it's the new MAC foundation. I've actually been really impressed with the new releases of MAC foundations in the past. I mean, last September my favourite foundation was MAC, obviously MAC, the Pro Longwear foundation, which is one of my holy grail products. So for me it felt like a natural progression to go and check out the new Matchmaster foundation. Side note, Matchmaster, kind of annoying name because I keep wanting to say Matchmaker and then sing that stupid old song. But I've had it for 24 hours, I've worn it twice within that 24 hours, so I think that I can do a first impressions mini review type thing, tell you what the product does if I think it delivers on those claims. Obviously I can't do a full review because I've not had it for longer than a day, but I thought that someone out there might want to know what it is, what it does, things like that. So I'm gonna get going. So for the basic product claims, this is what MAC says it does. They say it's a demi-matte foundation, they say it's got moisturising properties in it, they also say it's got oil control products in it. They say that it's got a line reducing soft focus powder in it, but the main niche selling point of this product is that it's a departure from the NC and W colour range. They've implemented a new colour range which contains different ingredients to standard foundations on the market at the moment, and these refract light and adapt to look natural according to your skin tone. So it's quite complicated, there's kind of lots of scientific processes going on, so I'm going to point you to a couple of links which have the press releases on them to tell you, so you can basically read it, because there's no point in me sitting here bungling scientific knowledge at you. I did get an A in my GCSE, but there's no point me trying to explain stuff because I would just say vague words and look stupid. So the colour that I have is 1.0, it's the palest shade you can get at the moment. I imagine forever. MAC don't seem to be very understanding when it comes to pale people. The coverage of this is a medium coverage. That said, it's a really lightweight medium coverage and it doesn't cake when you try and build it up. So I was quite impressed that I could just keep applying this today and it didn't look cakey, it just looked very soft, very nice on the skin. It sat very nicely, didn't sink in anywhere, didn't crease anywhere. I think the real standpoint for me was that I went out yesterday wearing Estee Lauder foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I looked in the mirror on the bus home and thought, wow, my face looks ridiculously cakey. Like, it looked really heavy, really cakey, really chalky. And then I got home and tried out my new foundation, and I think because I'd had that such polarising foundations on, such polarising experiences, this just looked really glowy, really luminous in comparison. So the finish, as Matt says, is demi-matte. I would agree with that. It's a luminous matte finish. I do think it gives your skin this natural kind of soft, luminous finish. It looks really pretty, quite natural, very lightweight, nice finish. Best thing about it obviously is that it doesn't feel chalky and it does have that semi-matte finish. So people like me with oilier skin, because I don't have normal skin, I have combination / oily skin, there is that matte finish just to keep you a little bit safer without it sliding down your face. In terms of the wear, I wore this for about 9.5 hours, which I would say is a good solid run for foundation. It never claimed to be long wearing. It does have oil combating properties in it. It does contain an ingredient derived from seaweed to keep oil at bay, but it never claimed to be a long wearing foundation. So if you want your foundation for a long haul day, like 15 hours plus, it's not going to be for you for that kind of situation. This is not a foundation which you can really work hard like the MAC Pro Longwear. This is just a really natural finish foundation. It looks very pretty on the skin, with a bit more coverage than you would get from, say, something like MAC Face and Body. So that said, I did powder it when I wore it and I got 9.5 hours wear out of it, which I think is pretty solid. I don't usually need my foundations to work that hard. For me, this is perfect. I really like the wear. I think it's quite a good amount of wear time. In terms of the colour range, obviously it's a big departure from what MAC usually do. 1.0 is a solid colour range for me. It's absolutely fine, or it seems to be. It's not too yellow, it's not too peach, it seems to be working just fine for me. But the problem I did have with it was when I swatched 1.0 and 1.5 together, they seemed to oxidise very quickly. And not only that, but there seemed to be a big jump between the two colours, which I felt was a bit weird. 1.5 looked much darker even before it oxidised on my skin than 1.0. Application for me, I've used a few different brushes just out of curiosity. So I do one half of my face with one brush, the other half. Very, very smooth. It doesn't cake at all. It blends really nicely. It kind of blends to that almost like nothingy, which is the whole point of it, I suppose. It almost looks like nothing on your skin. It's very, very nice. It blends really nicely. It blends away very quickly. So just some general information about the product. There are 14 shades available. And there's 35 millilitres of product. It's quite interesting that they've upped the product amount, because usually MAC foundations contain 30 millilitres, so I'm not really sure why they've increased it, but I'm not unhappy with this development. So that is pretty much all I can say about the foundation at the moment. This is kind of my mini review, first impressions. I'm wearing it right now. I really, really love the finish. I keep admiring myself in the mirror. So if you've got any questions, let me know. I'm no expert, but I will try to answer them. Hopefully this was useful to some of you, and